Alright, how's it going guys? Tom here, bringing you some good old COD 4 gameplay. Yes, COD 4, and I know it's been about an age since I've uploaded COD 4 or all that, or even Black Ops for that matter, so thought I'd bring you some different gameplay today. This is a pretty standard domination on Countdown using the silenced M4, lovely gun, lovely setup. It's probably stuff you've seen before from COD 4, but then you don't really see COD 4 all too often, so who the hell cares what kind of gameplay it is. I think I got like 51 and 9 or 8 or something like that. It's really good. I get a lot of nice streaks, a couple of 10 kill streaks and stuff like that. Basically, it's just simple spawn trapping where these guys are stuck in the military bases kind of things, and we're just trapping them in there. And well, I was playing with one friend, I think, just Nick, so that was, it wasn't, you know, like teaming or anything. The players were pretty bad, and they were all trying to snipe like Countdown people try to do. But anyway, I didn't want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about football today. So any American people, it's European football, not soccer. Sorry, yes, soccer. I mean, I just hate saying soccer because it doesn't sound anything like the sport, but that's another story for another day. I don't want to get into that kind of argument as I get a lovely little 5-man feed or wherever that was. I don't know how many kills that was, but in any case I raped the entire team. But I want to talk about football today because yesterday a big football kind of news thingy happened and I was there to see it. I watched the game. It was Chelsea against Swansea, and Chelsea were there to try and progress to the final of the League Cup, which they failed to do. The score was 0-0 in the end, so it wasn't really much happening. Chelsea played utter shit, even though I support them and I love Chelsea, but they really did play terribly. But the bigger news, aside from the fact that Chelsea lost, I'm sure a lot of you will have heard if you're a big football fan, or even a small football fan, it doesn't really matter because it was all over the news today, and I knew it would be all over the news. But before I get into that and what happened and all the overreactions by the Football Association, all that bullshit, let's first talk about what happened. Basically, Eden Hazard, who is Chelsea's new kind of star player, brilliant player, brilliant guy. I think he's a brilliant guy, but he got sent off. He got a red card, and for what I thought was a terrible decision by the ref. And it wasn't even on a Swansea player. It was actually for a challenge, in quotation marks, on the ball boy. It was a little fat little prick of a 17-year-old ball boy who was just blatantly time wasting. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about it. The ball had gone out of play. It was a goal kick, and Hazard just ran to the ball to try and pick it up to get play going on, because obviously it was 12 minutes from time, and any player would be frustrated after that time and just want to get on with the game. But of course, you got this stupid little ball boy who decides to lie on top of the ball just to blatantly stop Hazard from picking it up. And because of that, Hazard did what any person tried to do. He actually tried to kick the ball from under his chest, and ended up, I think, maybe kicking him slightly, but I think it was like a little freaking scratch. I mean, even if a 2-year-old got kicked like that, they would just start laughing. But no, this 17-year-old asshole, who was clearly a Swansea fanboy, decided to lie on the floor groaning in pain. And it was pretty funny to watch, man. I thought maybe Sergio Busquets had been responsible for that. He might have taught him some tricks. But I don't want to go into that because you probably won't know what I'm talking about, especially a lot of you who don't watch that much football. But yeah, so I'm just pretty disgusted, to be honest, that frustrated that the ball would do something like that, but also that the ref, why would you give him a straight red? I just don't understand why. But I knew immediately after Hazard got sent off, and from what the commentators were saying, that the next day the FA would be all over Hazard in the papers and punishments and all that. I mean, he's already going to get a 3-match ban, which is bad enough for Chelsea because he's such a key player. I mean, he's a really good attacking player, so that's a big blow. We've got a game on the weekend in the FA Cup, which is actually the Football Association Cup, believe it or not. So that's going to be another controversial issue. But basically, I think what happened afterwards is that the police, just the actual police, interviewed the kid afterwards and his dad, and they didn't make any complaints to Hazard. And Hazard went into the Chelsea changing room afterward and said sorry to Hazard, and Hazard said sorry to him. I mean, there are a few people to blame. I mean, the ref made a mistake for sending him off. Hazard made a mistake for overreacting, which is understandable. It's a human thing to do, and the little kid did a human thing. He was a Swansea fan, and I mean, he did something really annoying and stupid that all the Chelsea fans hate him for and all the Swansea fans love him for, but it was all unnecessary. And I really think that, you know, if they just said sorry, and which they did, and even the police didn't get into it, but of course you have the FA, the Football Association, who comes into it and just completely boils it over. I mean, I don't understand what they're doing. And I'd actually like to bring in a lovely quote from the great Ashley Cole, who's a left back at Chelsea. He said that the FA are a bunch of twats in one of his tweets. He hashtagged that in one of his tweets, and I thought that was honestly the funniest thing I'd ever heard, because it's so true. I mean, the FA are just complete idiots. And I remember they gave John Terry a 4-match ban for a lot of bullshit, and they gave Luis Suarez an 8-match ban for supposed racism, abuses and stuff. And in my opinion, guys, before this video ends, I just want to touch on this, that I really think that the Football Association, or people in charge of like the footballing law or whatever, really do ruin the game. Because for me, football is, I mean, human error should be included in football. That's how it should be. And by the way, this gameplay is coming to an end, so I'm just going to leave it with my final words, which is basically, I think the football should be left to human error, and if there's any human error, then that's part of the game. I mean, that's why it's so much fun, that's why we get so emotional about it, and that's why I love football so much. But then you got the FA with a load of stuff that doesn't need to happen, really, in my opinion. So let me know what you all think about that, and I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, of course. Another Modern Warfare 2 live commentary coming tomorrow, and I will leave a link to the video of Hazard supposedly hitting the football boy, what's it called, the ball boy, down in the description, so check that out, and you can make your own opinion of that, and I will catch you later. Peace.